All right, guys, good morning, everyone. I just did one last trade on TLC, but I only got a partial fill on it, so made about 34 cents a share on it. But again, under $1,000 position size, so I feel like I missed it almost. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about the lead gappers here. And first of all, good morning, guys. Welcome back to the live stream. Your first review, the watch list, and we trade the market open every day. Today's Friday. It's the last day of the trading week. It's almost a sad thing, but I always look forward to the weekends. A little bit of downtime is always really nice. It's the 14th of August, so we're pretty much at halfway point, and it's 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got another 15 minutes before the market opens at 9:30. It's so unusual that it's like exactly 15 minutes. We'll wrap up this stream between usually around 11 o'clock actually. And quick reminder for everyone that's new, this is for education entertainment purposes only. My trades are quick, not meant to be followed, and always know yourself while you're entering and exiting a stock, especially what your stops are, guys. Those are so important. This community, guys, is a place for us to help each other. Please do not spam, and always think about what am I writing here? Is it beneficial to the community? Any spamming, you guys will be put in timeout or kicked. Check out the video description below. Tons of FAQs down there, and let's keep going through the watch list here. Let's at least start going through the watch list. Just kind of realize, usually I kind of dive into the watch list before I do some housekeeping. So it's already afternoon over here. Let's dive into it. Right now we're watching TLC. This was a bit of a late bloomer in terms of volume pre-market. We had a big move on TLC, but it didn't really have any volume. And I was wondering, I was like, why is nobody trading TLC? Honestly, now I'm thinking nobody was trading TLC, or a small amount of people were trading TLC just because it didn't have volume, and people saw volume, now they're trading it. But I think the big thing, well, I mean, that's obvious, but I think the big reason behind that is because MTP and MESO were looking really hot, and I think that's where all the attention was. So I think it was more of like an attention thing than failure as a stock. So I don't know. Well, let's think about that. TLC, 30 million float. That's a pretty decent middle range float. We're looking for under 50 million, so that's good. Ideally under 10 million. 215 million market cap, that's definitely on the higher end for sure. We're looking at usually under 100 or under 50 million. It's a Taiwan biotech with FDA. They submit an investigational new drug application for coronavirus. So good catalyst there. Let's see where it goes. I mean, this thing popped up 60% when I first noticed it, and then it was up over 100% pre-market. Where did it just go? TLC on my list. I don't see it right now. I think it literally just disappeared. Oh no, it's right here highlighted. I wasn't looking at the highlighted ones. So we'll see how this one behaves. It's really holding this $9 zone. It's holding the 15-minute 9 EMA. So let's kind of see how this performs. We do have huge support at 850. So I think that's a big thing to kind of keep in mind here. I'm not the biggest fan of the daily chart on this one. It makes me a little bit nervous. Had a lot of failed spikes on TLC in the past. It's a fairly new ticker, to be honest. From 2019, basically, just 2018, end of 2018 it IPO'd. So I mean, it's really near these all-time high areas where it just constantly gets whacked back down. So again, I'm a little bit nervous here. And if you actually check it on the 4-hour, we'll see how this one performs, because in the past it has these spikes that at least last till the open, and then on the open it's a little bit crazy, big doji candles, and then it just spikes and typically just pulls off. So we'll see how we want to trade this one. Might need to be aggressive though. I've noticed that TLC, once it starts moving to the upside, you almost have no time to get in on it. Like here, there was no dips. Well, there was like little red candles here, but they were very, very small. So you would have had to jump on these really quickly. And on the backside, it's pretty punishing. It flushes really, really hard. So understanding that TLC has been flushing hard kept me away from buying a lot of these pullbacks. It wasn't until I really was able to see on the order book that there was reversals happening, I would buy those dips. I'm up about 162 on TLC. Could have used bigger size on it, but kind of, pre-market, I never want to use too big size. I always want to manage my risk. I don't want to start off in the hole or anything like that. Overall, we're up about $200 from pre-market trading, 230. Yeah, so let's talk about MTP, our second lead gapper. And whoa, I just realized my mic was behind my laptop. If it was sounding a little bit weird, that's why. I don't know how big of a difference this is going to make, but I was like, wait, where's my laptop? I mean, my mic. MTP, I did one really small trade on this one. Position size was actually bigger, but I bought the dip down here when we broke 275, and then it pulled right higher again, and I closed out pretty much right away. This was a very quick trade. We had a second double bottom here, and then we moved higher. So it was good that I closed this trade, because who knows, I would have probably maybe cut this one for a loss. But I wish I kind of bought back in this area at least one more time, because this, this one had a pretty strong sell-off, 37% from the pre-market high. And we were kind of in some big support zones. So, seeing a potential reversal was somewhat likely. But I don't know, kind of sketchy trading this one as well. I think MTP, I would really be looking for, in all honesty, a red to green move. We've had a lot of failed spikes on this one. Really just a ridiculous amount of failed spikes, actually, I gotta say. So yeah, I don't know. I know that 2.5 is big support, so anything in the 2.5 zone, I'd probably be jumping on fairly aggressively with MTP. So let's keep that in mind. I don't know if we're going to go into the 50s. Maybe we're going to break the 50s. It's always hard to say, but definitely the 2.5 is going to be an interesting zone out of the gates on MTP. And then what do we got? Our last one, MESO, MESO. This is a weird one. 90 million float. That's pretty high. Oh, you know what? On MTP, I didn't really review it too much. 6 million float, UK biotech with a bunch of, it looks like they have warrants around 625. So just be careful with MTP. There's a lot of red flags on it. I didn't really see any positive catalyst on MTP. I might be wrong, but just be careful with MTP for sure. So just looks like all the news on MTP is all about registering new stocks, which is not good catalyst. I'm not even sure why MTP is up. So just keep that in mind. So back to MESO here. 90 million float, that's really high. 1.4 billion market cap, and that market cap's about to fly up because, we're up here 50%. So this is about to be like a $2 billion plus market cap. Now, we typically never even trade stocks over 500 million. So it's not really a small cap anymore. So if you're trying to trade MESO, keep in mind that it's probably not going to have very clean breakouts. And if it does, it might have several fake outs. It's just going to trade much differently. Just keep that in mind with MESO. This one has a catalyst that it got 9 out of 10 votes FDA drug approval. That sounds like a really good catalyst. So MESO, if this thing ever sold off too much, I'd probably really consider buying it, especially around $16. I like the kind of overall stability on this one. So 17 is big support. Yeah, I don't know. MESO could be a really good trade if we find some support on this one. But my problem is just, that's already 3 tickers to be watching out of the gate. And sometimes if I'm watching 3 tickers, I might as well not be watching any tickers because it's too much to keep track of. CREG flying. Oh boy. Now we got one more ticker to the mix. Things are going to get a little crazy, guys. Things are getting a little crazy. Wow, yeah, nice one. Good call, guys. I didn't see it in time. So we got another 5 minutes of the market opens. We got plenty of time. So let's look at this one now. CREG. It's going to take one thing at a time here, guys. I'm only going to be focusing on probably 2 tickers out of the gate. CREG, it's a Chinese waste management company with a 2 million float. 2 million float. Right now it's up 70%. You know how I feel about the Chinese companies. They've been getting me on the wrong side a lot. So I don't know if I'll trade this one. 2 million float. This one has huge spikeability right now with that 2 million float. That's what we really, really like to see. Catalyst on it is innovative growth initiatives. Says back on track. Sustainable. So they're kind of riding a trend, it seems like. I wouldn't really consider this much news. Recent reverse split. But you can't underestimate the power of trends. Now we remember when the BLM banks were flying on zero news, and then we understood, okay, well, there's the macro news that some of these banks are getting more capital or access to capital. So I guess there was some news behind it, but it was all macro news, and these companies were going up multiple 100%. So just like with CREG, if it's riding a larger trend, a larger macro trend, you can't really discount that too much. It's just much, much harder to value and day trade because you don't really know what it's like actually worth. How good is that news? Sometimes I feel like it's a bit more of a question mark. So CREG, I'll probably be fairly cautious with. We have big resistance at 5. We have nice support at 3.5 and 4. Probably going to do a little bit of a bounce here off the EMA. This will be interesting. I see you guys calling out FAMI as well. I usually don't trade sub dollar, but FAMI is now over $1. The only thing I could really say is, we got tons of tickers. And what you want to think about is what is the most obvious lead gapper? That's always something really, really important to think about. I think TLC may be the most obvious lead gapper, followed by, obviously, a lot of eyes are on CREG right now. MESO with the big support. What was it? We were saying at like 7 or so, or 8. MTP with that possible red to green move, but the catalyst on MTP is very shady. IGC today, I don't know if I'm even gonna look at IGC. Don't really see a reason why I would. All right, all I can say, guys, is good luck, everyone, and know why you're trading, what you're trading. Don't just jump into a stock because you feel like you have FOMO or just because someone else is trading it. Understand the move. Have conviction behind your move. That's going to help you to, see it through. If it's, cutting losses if it doesn't work out, or taking profits when you have them, or just not getting shaken out on a quick pullback. So I got TLC here on the main screen. We definitely know we have big support at 8. Oh, by the way, SPY down 0.12%, not bad at all. Again, 850 could be huge support zone on this one. Actually, I think I have an order on Sono. Let me actually remove this one because it's taking up some of my buying power, and I don't want to trip over myself today. Sono at 12. All right, guys, good luck, everyone. And yeah, Lee, you called it out. Remember, guys, drop the like button if you enjoy the content. I really, really appreciate it. Help the community grow. Another 7 seconds here. Good luck. MTP and TLC opening up. Watching them. 8.5 could be a support zone. TLC with about a 6% pullback so far. MTP showing some interesting signs here. TLC still having some resistance. 9.2 could be the breakout point. Did not break out. Maybe putting in somewhat of a bottom here. Try to get that bottom, but it looks like I might have missed it. CREG at 4. Watching TLC. It was never really that big of a dip. Big breakout at MTP. Would like to see a bigger pullback actually on TLC. Got a bit more of a pullback. Again, was kind of light. Watching several other tickers at the same time. Yeah, it could have been the bounce here, about up 5%, not too bad. Was looking for that 8.5 zone, which we looked like we touched for a second. Didn't get as low as I was waiting for. We got CREG, big support at 4. TLC with another pullback. Possible first size here on TLC at 64. Kind of missing my entry here a little bit. Possible entry at 70. Possible entry at 73. First fill here at 73. Looking for TLC to have that possible move above 9. Selling volume was really light on this one. Moved up my order several times. Smaller position size so far, nothing too crazy. Might average down if we can. MTP still racing away here. Little sloppy setup overall. Wish I got a bigger fill at a better price. Possible break. Close this position. Said join the ask, but I thought we were still up here at 9.2. We weren't. So I pretty much sold exactly at the bottom here. Total mistake. 99 actually wasn't as bad as I thought, but sloppy stuff here on my end. Let's see what happens. TLC, another pullback here. It was good to get out. Let's see if 8.5 holds. TLC is one of the lead gappers. MTP is in place number 1 for sure. CREG number 3. Oh, big sell-off there. Base hits are always important. MTP, guys, is an absolute ripper. Much more exciting to watch. I'm watching it on my second screen. Big flush there on TLC. It was good that we were able to walk away with a small size on this. Really sloppy trading though. I didn't get the fills I wanted. Never pulled back as hard as I wanted, and then it randomly flushed. So TLC, really sketchy there. 30 million float though. It has a bigger float. I don't really expect this one to fall out of the sky. MTP, guys, absolute wicked run on MTP. Congrats to everyone. Nailed MTP and CREG bounce off of 4. Both looking really good. Most of my attention was on TLC out of the gates, but I'm really kind of switching between MTP as well. I've yet to make a trade on MTP. Woo! MTP went from 263 to 360. That was an absolute ripper. I'm still watching TLC. I might do another trade here. Any sort of crack of 8 on low volume would be an interesting possible entry, I gotta say. MESO breaking 17. We talked about that being a possible nice zone for an entry. $6 million float, guys, on MTP. That's a big reason it's probably quite the runner. It's quite a stressful open so far for me. TLC, just watching this one. I'm really watching MESO as well right now. I like that it's in the kind of mid 16s. TLC is having a really hard time breaking down. I thought it was going to break down faster. Maybe it's going to have a bit of a double bottom here in reverse. CREG at 465. CREG is looking like could be a really nice dip buy here. Pulled back above VWAP, looking good. I'm still watching TLC on a different screen, moved it over. It's a bit of a slower mover. Really solid bounce off of 4 on CREG. Really nice. About a 22% bounce. Doesn't really look like TLC wants to break 8, but at the same time, it looks like it wants to, but just has a hard time. Big flush here on CREG. 2 million float, this thing could just jump in all sort of directions. Remember the catalyst on CREG I didn't really get nor understand. So plus, yeah, I don't know. This is just one of those typical companies I tend to avoid. Could be a bounce off of 4. Quick little pop back to the upside. That was a mean flush though. TLC broke 8, but very quickly bounced right back to 825. MTP found some support at 320 on that 9 EMA pullback. TLC, possible reversal here. Possible starter position in the 20s. MTP definitely has the most volume today for the small caps. Yeah, that was a pretty nice flag, Corey. $9:42 a.m. Absolutely crazy. What a morning. Of course, has got to grab some coffee. SSR, I'm not sure. I'd have to check that one out a little bit later. We'll have a little bit more time for just some community chat around like 10:30, probably after 10:30. It's always really, really hard to look at the chat room while I'm in the middle of a trader. So I'm still watching TLC. You know, was hoping that we'd have a more clear setup. I think we found somewhat of a bottom I was expecting another dip under 8. That's why I never entered it again. I did like the 820 pullback, but I didn't enter there. MTP, just there's a lot of opportunities here, guys. Just got to wait for your opportunity, wait for the setup that you're looking for, and then you got to get aggressive when you see it. Nice, David. Sweet, man. TLC, it's 9:45. Could be setting up for a bigger break back above 9. I'm going to give it some time, wait for some sort of 5-minute setup, maybe a bit more of a confirmation. I don't want to really be buying any of these breakouts. I think you could be stuck in a flush very easily. So I'm just going to kind of give this one a little bit and see what kind of bottom we form, if we do form a bottom, and then I might jump on it. MTP, I definitely probably missed this this pullback right here. I think that was probably the most clean setup. Other than that, I'm not sure if I would have traded any of this stuff. Maybe the break of VWAP, but I'm a little suspicious with MTP as well with that catalyst. I don't really trust it. Nice, Carmela. Really, really nice. TLC looking okay actually in this area. I'm going to see how much longer it holds this $8 support. Wow, so MTP, look at this pretty impressive move so far. Big resistance here between 4 and 450. Congrats to everyone that got that break to 4. Really, really nice stuff. Absolutely awesome. Nice, Corey. Congrats to everyone taking profits on MTP, especially before that flush. Yeah, those were some real nice profits too. Whoo, 20% moves. Absolutely wild. MTP is officially on the backside here. CREG is disappointing quite hard probably for a lot of people. MTP with a pretty sweet support zone, roughly around 3.4. MESO with the 90 million float and the FDA drug approval might be finding somewhat of support here, having a bit of a possible double bottom or 1650, 1670, I mean. TLC trying again to break higher. $9.50, we might start seeing those 10 o'clock reversals. TLC has been holding this zone okay. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a candidate for that. MESO as well. And then MTP might probably do a little bit of consolidation in the meantime. TLC looks like it might flush, honestly. I'm a little nervous there. No open trades right now for me. TLC did not flush down. This is actually looking pretty healthy now. Ooh, right as I say that, the candle goes absolutely freaking 7% bonkers up. Quick pullback on TLC. It's about 953. Don't really see this one going too far. I'm a little bit nervous on the flushes. 8% move off the bottom, pretty sweet. Yeah, Corey, I feel the same. 8 is a very aggressive target. We know that 4 and 450 are the current targets. I mean, that's really what it had to break through. So I would wait till we see some more progress in that regard. Holding VWAP though, all right. So far, so good. Have I looked at MBOT? No, I have not. Look at MTP pulling back above. TLC with a possible pullback here to the 9-minute. This could be a possible entry on TLC. Just be... First size on TLC just now, small position size. Nope, I'd actually just bought into a bit of a flush here. Power of small position size on a trade you're less comfortable with. So I got out of this one right away. Didn't even have time to switch my screen. Apologize for that, TLC. I like the possible setup here, and it was around 9.55, which sometimes we see some really strong reversals in. Probably gave back about 50 bucks or so. It wasn't really too bad. Had a pretty decent entry, but then it kept on pulling back. And when this kept pulling back this aggressive, I got out of it right away. Again, guys, there's nothing wrong with the loss, but there is something wrong with, you know, holding something for no reason too long. And once I saw the TLC was not going to hold that pullback, that potential reversal back above $9, I got out of that one. Nothing really too fancy there. Pretty straightforward trade. It's actually kind of unfortunate because I was waiting for that break of 8 pretty much the whole morning, and then we just finally got it now. It is what it is. Looking for MTP. I would love to see another setup here on MTP. So MESO cracked higher, but then pulled back as well. See you guys calling out CREG, CREG. Again, these are not typical tickers I like for obvious reasons that I pointed out before. You know, 3.5 sometimes are really nice bounce zones. I like the way it moves. It's fairly quick. Volume has really kind of fallen off a cliff on this one. The $4 pullback on this would have been the trade I wanted. I'm not sure if I would have traded anything else on CREG. I don't know. Not the biggest fan myself. Not saying it's not a good stock to trade. I'm just not for my my style. I think MTP is definitely the ticker to be watching. I think most day traders are looking at it. The dollar volume is at 200 million. Really, really nice numbers we're seeing here. So that's without a question the one I want to be looking at. TLC really fell off a cliff in volume on that last dump. So it looks like that dump also took a lot of traders with it in terms of people wanting to actually trade the ticker. So a little bit unfortunate, I guess. Most of my attention is on MTP at the moment. Nice, Ryan. Uh-oh, MTP going for the flush, it looks like. Let's see what happens. Those are some choppy candles. 6 million float, US biotech. Again, the catalyst is very questionable. That was the biggest red flag I had on it. But it's, you know, clearly the one with the most action right now. MESO pulling back. Getting close to the 16. We had a low here at 1630 roughly before. Sweet move there on an MTP. Look at this being breaking higher. MESO pulling back again. We know MESO has some pretty solid support around 16. Big float on this one. The scalps would be fairly small on MESO. That's my only problem. Wow, MTP, look at this thing rip. Huge move on MTP, 16%. I'm surprised it's not halted yet. Corey, did you jump in this one? Yeah, I am kind of missing MTP. I'm only up 50 bucks on it. On one tiny little pre-market trade. Woo! 425 MTP. We need a bit more volume to come in here, but there's a good chance we might break the volume from the day before or that last spike. $200 million volume so far on MTP. Those are really solid numbers. This thing might try to go all the way to 625 because that's really where the warrants are hiding. So the warrants needed to go up to 6. Possible quick pullback here. Down to 4, finding support. $407 was the low. Just hit the low, bro. $4 held so far. Probably a lot of dip buyers on that. Volume overall is pretty low, which is good on the sell. That's always a good thing to see. This would have been possible entry 410, 490. 423. It's got to break through the high of 433. That's the critical point. $407. No big question here. This is the possible bull flag here. 410. A lot of buyers were sitting on that. That was over a 50% candle pullback, fairly strong. $731, new candle is going to happen in 30 seconds. Still a lot of selling pressure on this one. Not really too surprising, I gotta say. I'm actually surprised that this thing even went up this far. Look at that flush to the downside, huh? So much for the bull flag. 1007. It's really easy to FOMO into these trades when you miss the first like 15 minutes of the market open, which were really the best times to be trading. Good point. I mean, we already know this company's doing an offering, and then they just came out with new news at, I didn't even see this one until you guys called it out in the chat room. A registered direct offering in October. Another registered direct offering in May. Settled exercise price of 2. Oh, guys, that's just like, this is what we talked about pre-market, and this is why I didn't trade MTP. And yeah, I definitely missed the big move to the upside. But we knew they had an offering at 6, and now they're coming out with another offering in, what was that, May, at $2. Definitely putting a lot of people probably weary at bay. I mean, that's why, this company long term has basically a linear direction to the downside. What'd you find out, Bren? Wow, look at TLC, man. Once it broke that $8, nobody was interested in this anymore. Not a big surprise. We do have some decent support around 6.5 or 7, but both aren't really too interesting. I like the bounce on MESO. The only thing I don't like about it is like a perfect entry and exit would have been like 3%, which is really not the percentages that we're looking for. I wonder if this is going to wrap Friday up. I feel like maybe there's more potential, but I wasn't a big fan of MTP this whole day. That's why I wasn't trading it. And yeah, I mean, these are some absolutely wicked flushes. Getting more aggressive on the first 15 minutes would have been the way to go on it. Brad, good. Thanks for the update. You know what? Actually, Brad, I'm going to probably start making occasional, maybe once a month video on my crypto portfolio and whatnot. Maybe make a new portfolio for the channel or something, but I think it could be good fun. I really think averaging into coins is not a bad idea, especially like the top 10. Got to be quick on these tickers today, man. We're having less follow through than yesterday. This whole week has been kind of a weird follow through day. That's why I've been buying dips much more than usual. I haven't really been trusting the follow through we've been seeing. Bitcoin trading on Ether bad? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Abolisher, there's no need to unnecessarily call people out. It just creates a bad vibe in the chat room. Ooh, this laptop is on fire. Amen, Ben. That is super true. Not the most crazy Friday. I mean, it's, we had some decent action with MTP out of the gates, but I wasn't the biggest fan of the tickers we were seeing. I'm just a little bit unsure if I will be even doing more trading. We actually had RKT pulling down to, I think, the low 18s for a split second yesterday. Possible trade on this one with our swing portfolio. Here it is. Actually quite nice. I think that's actually a good idea, calling out FAMI. I think what a lot of traders are going to be looking for when we have these lead tickers pulling back so heavy is another ticker to trade that looks promising. FAMI orders dried mushroom products, 20 million shares out, 20 standing, 23 million float. I mean, definitely has spikeability, new customer orders. So, I mean, it has a catalyst, doesn't have the nicest chart, but, has these several spike days in the past. So they just don't tend to hold their highs really well. Big resistance here at a 115. So that's really the level to break through. Might be a ticker worth looking at. TLC is actually finding somewhat of a support around 7, but it's been pulling off so much, I'm not sure if it will stop. So if I was trading TLC, I'd be looking for very quick base hits. John, why can't I respect my stops? It takes practice. You get more and more used to it. MESO below 16. No, actually 17. Sorry, read that wrong. Sometimes those alerts just go off really, really late, and they confuse the heck out of me because it was an alert from way before. Brent, I feel you on that. FAMI, guys, made a new high date. This one might be what most people are looking at the moment after a really disappointing kind of lead gappers not being really able to hold highs and consolidate. Yeah, back on DOS alerts are definitely I wouldn't rely too much on them. Yeah, MESO actually looks interesting as well. I'll be right back, guys, and let's see what happens in the next 2 minutes or so. Getting ready for the 10:30 plus session. All right, so back here, FAMI had a pretty nice bounce off of 1.2 and then ripped off to 1.3. That was actually a pretty sweet move. 10%, really, really impressive. MESO trying to come back alive here. I really think MESO might be one of the ones to watch. Did find some support around 16 like we were discussing. It's just not the quickest mover, but maybe if it has a bit more volume come in, it'll move a bit quicker, but we could always just use bigger size. After all, MESO, I mean, 2 billion market cap is just, it takes a lot more money to move this ticker. On HUSN. Were you dip buying that one? 682, yeah, that's not fun. Will MESO go back above VWAP? I think any ticker that starts really pulling higher and showing some promise, I think people are going to jump on it super quick, just like with FAMI. So I'm kind of keeping my eye out for something like that. Showing the breakout, the first one worked, second got stuck. Ah, man, sorry to hear, man. Yeah, the breakout trading isn't really my favorite thing either. I do it every now and then. But it's a bit of a 50-50 for me in terms of trade journal stats. It's not my go-to or bread and butter. This month has really been about dip buying. Typically, it's more on, you know, the pullbacks of the breakouts. But yeah, it's, you kind of adjust your strategies a little bit depending on the market you're in. Stronger sell-off on FAMI. FAMI could be setting up another bigger dip here. MESO trying to do the VWAP breakout. Adding some volume, looking really solid. MTP is still pulling back. John, that's funny. That was a really strong pullback on MESO. Yeah, Corey, I feel you, man. And same with Bren. Like, if you get what you want and you're not seeing the hot stuff anymore, then why not just wrap it up? And I kind of feel the same way. I have not really seen one more trade that I wanted besides the FAM pullback to 1.2, which happened literally as I walked away from the computer. So it is how it is sometimes. Maybe I'll set up another trade, but at the moment I'm more or less done. So I'm just kind of watching here. Maybe we'll see another setup. FAM, I just broke 133, 135. This thing is pulling high right now. Big volume, really, out of nowhere land. Look at that. It's impressive. MESO possibly back in play. MESO has that really big resistance at about 18.5 and around that area. FAMI could be a quick pullback to 129 or so. FAMI, literally a perfect pullback to 128, 129. Wow, congrats to anyone that got that. I definitely snoozed right through it. Beautiful FAMI breakout. 7% move. I'm not sure why I didn't trade that one. Take care, Bren. What did I see on FAMI that I liked? Well, it just had a nice breakout past the high of 1.3, and then it did a quick attempt to break higher. It didn't work, and then it had a nice quick tap to the EMA at around where I was thinking would be 129. It went down to 128 and then popped up higher again to like 137. That was actually the trade I was looking for. But I don't know. I just didn't take it. It's past 10:30. I usually don't trade at this point. And then my eyes were also on MESO here at around 10:30. I don't know. Just wasn't really fully vibing it, so I didn't take it. Too late for FAMI? I don't know. It could be. I don't like it as much anymore as that quick pullback that we had. I feel like if I entered FAMI now, I would be entering because I felt FOMO because of that. I missed that last trade, and I never really liked that feeling that I'm only entering because maybe I'm having FOMO. So I don't know. I'll probably leave FAMI. Right now it's breaking 1.4 though. So if this holds, that could be interesting, but I think it's a bit overextended in terms of how it's traded in the past. In this run it's on right now, so I'm probably just gonna maybe wait for a 5-minute setup or so. Most likely I'm done with trading though on the day. Yeah, good point, David. Abolisher, really, man, you gotta start thinking. Am I writing stuff that's contributing to the chat room, or am I just distracting people? We have a really awesome community here. I don't want to put people in timeout too much, but you're not making it easy for me. MTP must take profits. Amen. Volume fading on MTP. Not sure why I would trade it. FAMI got as well. I mean, it was a nice run, but if you check out the 5-minute chart on FAMI, I don't really see why it would break past 1.4 just yet after a phenomenal rally to the upside. I think this thing needs to consolidate a little bit, has big resistance here. The news is okay, but it's not that great news. I don't really know why I want to trade it. Nice. Let's see. That's some serious work there. Yeah, Corey, me too. Abolisher, you did not have to trade CREG. That's something we talk about in the beginning of every live stream. Always know what you're trading. If you win or if you lose, it's totally your own decision. Yeah, Paradox. It's tough to find the right opportunities, and that's oftentimes why I don't trade them so high up in the game. You also have to make sure if you're buying 9-minute EMA pullbacks, we're still on the trend to the upside and not on the backside of the move. That's a really kind of key point right there. So with FAMI, the reason I would have traded this 129 entry is because we were clearly on the uptrend right here. Here it started getting a little bit of top heavy, so I probably would have not traded the retest here, although there could have been a 2.83% chance for a quick scalp profit, but this is too risky in my eyes. I felt like this one was a bit less risky just because it had that quick pullback potential. Yeah, I don't know. But always think, are we on the back side of the move? Do I have to be extra quick, or are we on the front side where sometimes I can hold it a little bit longer, and sometimes we get those nice bigger green candles. Thanks, Tristan. Yep, super true, Corey. And there's nothing wrong with getting ideas from the community. I trade tickers you guys call out all the time. But what I do is I look at the ticker does it fit my criteria? What's the float? What's the catalyst? Okay, boom, this is looking good. And then I make my decision if I want to trade it, waiting for the perfect setup. But yeah, I mean, I love tickers that you guys call out in the chat. It's really important. I mean, we're here to find new stuff together. I'm only one person. I can only find so much. And oftentimes I'm looking at the wrong ticker, and you guys are over here trading MTP and absolutely slaying it. So oftentimes what I'm trading is probably not the best thing either. Man, FAMI, guys, what a freaking turnaround story, huh? Bounce back again. Yeah, honestly, I think if I was trading FAMI right now, I'd just be FOMOing left and right. Like, I should have, could have, would have took the entry that I saw, and now I feel like if I had a win, I wouldn't be that satisfied, and if I had a loss, I would be just super stressed out because I'd be like, no, I didn't even want this trade. So I don't know. I might just let FAMI go. It's not really the biggest profit Friday, but after all, I mean, it is a profit Friday. We're up $221 today. Took several losses, took several wins, but had no big wins, just a bunch of base hits. So I can't really complain with that. I think we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9 trades today. A lighter trading day for sure. I kind of wonder if FAMI is going to be another good entry. Oh my lord, just had a double top here. Woo, it sure is tempting. Are you guys tempted to trade it? Because I sure am. Better just walk away. Roy, yeah, that's true. Yeah, David, I always do open with a disclaimer, but by the time we're streaming, who knows how many people have heard that. I also have a disclaimer in the video description below. But hey, if you're blindly buying tickers because somebody on YouTube says so, I mean, I get great trading ideas from YouTube. I'm not going to lie. I follow many other traders and I watch many other traders, but you got to do your own due diligence because everyone has a different strategy. Just like when I was buying NKLA, when it was falling off a cliff, a lot of people were like, Alex, you're an absolute, like, what are you doing? This trade makes 0 sense. But I was like, it actually makes a ton of sense. I'll show you guys this one. This is probably the most classic example of why you should never follow another trader. Here we go, NKLA, watch this. This trade screams risk, but I felt really comfortable trading it. So NKLA just came out with a bunch of bad news, warrants, yada yada, offering. It was pretty much like the last thing you want to hear on a stock that you're trading. And I knew NKLA, I have a whole video about this before it happened. I knew NKLA was probably going to go to 30 or so, and we just were going to be breaking 60 pretty soon. But I bought on the 55 right here because I knew there was big support here, and the chance of a bounce and a pre-market possibility to take profits was very, very high. I reduced my risk by taking small position size. I closed out my position pre-market, and then pretty much when the market opened, it dropped like an absolute rock. So, it's like that is a trade that I talked about on YouTube, but at the same time, like if you just blindly followed it, it probably would have not worked out. So you just always got to know why you're trading certain stuff. But I'm sure most of you guys already know that. I'm chewing my nails. I need to smoke, Real says. Yeah. I feel like that's where I'm going right now. I'm ready for the weekend. What do you guys have planned for the weekend? Anything fun? Honestly, to me, sometimes the most amazing thing to do is just really just relax hard, eat good, sleep well, have some beers at the beer garden. That's always one of my dirty pleasures in life. Drinking golf. Corey, we're gonna have to meet up soon in Florida somewhere. I'll have to put you in touch with Heiko. Swimming with the sharks in the weekend. Oh boy, that sounds pretty intense. Trying to watch 3 to 4 movies. Long hike with the dog. Hitting 85 later. What do you mean 85? Like 85 years old? That's crazy. That's awesome that you're day trading. How do I add the 2 charts in the bottom corner? You can see there's chart 1, chart 2, and chart 3 right here on the left. And if you click on them, they add different charts. What I don't like about it is the fact that I can't move these things around. Like I would like this order book right here under this weird trade TD Ameritrade order book. I would prefer that much more. $85 degrees. Okay, I was like, dang man, congrats. 85 degrees. That's really hot. But it's not as bad as the Florida. I feel like 100 and like 100% humidity as well. Corey says, don't ask me twice. Just let me know I'm there. Yeah, it'd be good fun. I'm not sure when I have a US trip planned yet. Obviously, probably pretty soon. But once I do, I'll let you guys know. First, Portugal, starting September 5th. So I will see you guys in Portugal for some trading. That's where we're going to be trading for a month. That's going to be good fun. Ooh, beach, Airbnb, Cocoa Beach. Does Cocoa Beach still rip? I used to surf Cocoa Beach. When I was in middle school, our school would take surf trips to Cocoa Beach. Homebound, housebound with the toddler. Hope the toddler likes Netflix or studying stock charts. Eugene, you make that sound so bad. Maybe get the babysitter to come over. Wink, wink. Bay Area. Callian, I appreciate it. That's really nice of you. On Webull, I really like their web platform. There's so much customization on it. It's pretty sweet. We go by Fahrenheit here in the US. 115 in Phoenix. I think I would just get a heart attack. 115. 115 is so high. Yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of a surf trip in Lisbon, David. Day trade filter 1 hour. Interesting, Treasy. Happy to have you here, man. Don't forget to drop a like if you guys enjoy the content. Subscribe if you're new. We're gonna be coming out with a recap video later today. And then probably a swing trade video on Saturday. And then I'll see you guys again Monday for the next live stream. Beckham, y'all had good funding for the middle school. Well, honestly, our middle school, it had okay funding, but what it was like a surf club, and then like we would raise money by doing stuff, and then after like several months, I think, of raising funds, I don't know how long it was. I just remember it was a long time. Then like we eventually raised money to do the surf trip, and I think it was also sponsored by, it was like 50-50 or something like that. So I can't remember entirely. I just remember there was a long hurdle of getting the money. Barcelona versus Bayern Munich. Maybe Champions League. I got a lot of friends watching Champions League. Yeah, the humidity in Florida is really what gets you. Ooh, Eddie, ton of outdoor toys, Colorado or Texas. You know, I'm in Utah every now and then, so maybe we can make that work. Yeah, Eugene, fair enough. I get it. Ooh, Rory, that doesn't sound too good about Cocoa Beach with all the seaweed. The stimulus check never gonna happen, Americans. Yeah, the stimulus check is quite the debate at the moment, huh? It's just a lot of back and forth. I always find it kind of surprising that somehow Europe almost has no AC, especially in the residential buildings, and it's always kind of okay. Even if it's really, really hot outside, it's somehow okay. Alex looks 25 years old. I'm 27 actually, so close. I'll take 25. I'm at that age where it's almost a compliment. Neighbor Island, Tristan with Ryan, Maui. That's funny. Who's younger than 20? That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm also kind of ready for the airlines to have another spike. They're kind of just holding the zone, though. I'm happy they haven't decided to fall off a cliff. I'm a little nervous that on the 4-hour AAL looks like a giant Head and Shoulders. Because I gotta say, it kind of does look like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? We got the shoulder, we got the head, and possibly the second shoulder here on AAL, making me super, super nervous. Not really what I like to see. Not at all. You'll be good till about 35, Ryan. All right, the countdown starts. Thanks for the heads up. Mark Beckham, 1918. Very cool. Good to start early. She hated the fact there's no AC. Yeah, it takes a little bit to get used to. If you're obviously visiting in the winter time, it's no problem. The summers, they're okay. They're pretty mild, but like in August, there's gonna be some hot days, but it's only like maybe 2 weeks of pretty hot days. Yeah, the walls are really thick here. Like, I'm in an Altbau, they call it, so like an old building that was built in the 1800s. But I mean, I think this building's actually the 1900s, pre-war, and the walls are so thick. I honestly feel like I'm in a castle. It's crazy. It also is horrible for reception. My phone almost never works when I'm indoors. Yeah, I mean, typically, David, I'm in Florida, but right now I'm like on an extended Berlin trip. Cool. Yeah. Got to go to Zoom school. All right, Becca, man, take care. Happy to have you here, and happy to know you subscribe, man. Have a good one. Yeah, most are from that time period. That's true. The Gilded Age. There's another word for it though. Can't remember the word. Posted up in Germany and slaying the U.S. markets, more or less. Honestly, coronavirus never really got that bad in Berlin. There's like outbreaks in Germany every now and then, but Germany's been pretty good about it. And the reaction to the masks and whatnot, it's pretty mixed. I would say most of the population is pretty on board. I mean, they follow the rules pretty well. I mean, people don't even cross the street here if there's no green light. So it's like people really pay attention to rules in Germany, but there's definitely a small crowd of people that occasionally protest wearing masks, which I find pretty ridiculous. It's a pretty small thing to do for a pretty big impact. So I don't know why people complain about it. And then, and then why are you going to go to a big protest? And it's really not helping the situation. Whatever. Nice, Cody. Nice, nice, man. Age of Enlightenment. There's another word for it. It was definitely not the Renaissance. That's like six. That's like 1500s, maybe even 1400s. That's because Germany is a fairly competent government. Yeah, I mean, you could debate it. Thoughts on MTP breaking back above 3.23? Um, it's definitely trying here. I'd be really careful because the volume's fallen off a cliff quite drastically. Uh, Big double tops here. I don't know. Maybe it's going to try to spike back above 3.5. Who knows? It's hard to say. Lower volume than this day, and this day sold off really, really strong. So again, I'd just be pretty careful with MTP. I've been saying this since open. I just don't trust MTP. They have zero catalyst besides offering news. I don't even know why they're up today. What's up, Satoshi? Good to see you here, man. See you next week, Jonah. Happy to have you here. Yeah, Satoshi always dropping in light. Mara, calling out Mara. That was a recent gapper, huh? How long I've been streaming? We've been doing this since late November, early December. Sometime around there we started making it a thing. I don't remember specifically. Man, I'm really thinking about selling my AAL position. I'm a little bummed out that I didn't sell it at 15, but my goal was for that break of 16. That was my goal. 15. I really thought when we were in the 15s we were gonna crack 16 at the open maybe, and then I would have took profits. And now we're kind of really stuck in this $13 zone. Sell volume has been fading, which is good. I don't really like this potential head and shoulders setup. Kind of reminds me a little bit of what we had over here. And I would really hate to close this one for a loss. So it's tough to say. I mean, volume has faded, which is good. But if we cracked 13 bucks, it's not going to look very nice. I really think there might be a chance that we might go back above 14 for at least a second. An awesome penny stock story. Like a horror story? Markets are fairly, not too red. Nasdaq's a little bit red. Nice little momentum coming in here with MTP, just a little bit. Let's see if we're going to get that VWAP test. I think there's probably a good chance that this is going to be a quick, healthy pullback, and we're going to at least try to attempt to break above 335. That'd be at least a 4% possible profit. There we go. There was the move. I would have been out of this one already. Thoughts on Forex? I don't really trade Forex. I don't really like trading stuff anymore that is 24/7, although Forex is not 24/7. It's like it's 6 days of the week. And I forgot the opening times, but it's a lot and it's not my favorite. Nice. Wrapping up today with nice profit, okay profit, nothing really too crazy. Probably around 10% based on our average position size today. So pretty okay day. What's really nice about today is, this is second week now in August. And we've only had one red day. So we're definitely managing the risk well. And that's making me pretty happy. Take care, Paradox. Yeah, that really is the dream, huh? And I think it's probably easier to do on some of the altcoins more or less. Man, this life decision here with AAL is really kind of a tough one. So you can see with my AAL position, we're up about 400 bucks today. That's going to be the big question. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about this. We had one tiny size on RKT filled, like 300 bucks. That's probably why I forgot about it. So minuscule. This is for the $25,000 challenge account. I wanted to average down on this, but I never got the chance to average down. And then we kind of popped higher here. So really, really small position size on RKT, bought around 18.5. Huge pre-market move. This one would have been really, really nice to take profits on. But again, really, really small position size, like 30 bucks or something. No, wait, hold on. Position long, 30. Oh, okay, like 600 bucks, a bit more than I thought. But still. Really small. Yeah, I average down quite a lot, especially with swing trades. Yep, we stream every day the market's open, so next stream is going to be on Monday, and then we come out with a recap video at the end of every trading day. I know, super crazy how it's Friday, huh? Yeah, Satoshi, I feel you. I think I was going to do that probably today. I was going to talk about it a bit more in the recap video. I'm a little bit worried the way they are behaving right now. So I'm not really sure if I'm going to keep holding it. You guys know that I have like some serious trauma when it comes to being green on a stock and then closing for a loss. It's pretty much the worst feeling ever. So there's probably a good chance that I will close out my AL position. I trade stocks. I swing stocks that have a lot of momentum. AL was one that's talked about a lot. Space, Intel, Tesla. I haven't done a lot of trading on Tesla though. I like to swing trade stocks that are just momentum plays. And they're pretty much stocks that just people talk about all the time because they have really, really clean technicals. Solo. Yeah, I'll probably sell my airline. I've been thinking about this since yesterday, actually. Big resistance here. Try to break it again. Clearly on a downtrend now, reversing. Here's a pretty clear head and shoulders on AL and the 15 as well. Right here, spiked up, head, shoulder, dump. And that's exactly what we're seeing on the 4-hour right now, making me, again, a little bit worried. We got the shoulder, the head, the next shoulder. And when these things dump, they tend to dump very quickly. So I'd rather, like Satoshi says, I would rather buy back, if anything. Look at that. It's actually dumping a little bit right now. Let's see if we could squeeze out one last penny on this puppy. Nope. All right, I just closed my AL position. Yeah, again, like I would probably buy back AL at one point for sure. I was looking for that break of 16, and what I really, really didn't like about AL, again, is that kind of formation of the head and shoulders. At first, I felt fairly confident with AL because we had like a quick, nice, healthy pullback to the 9-minute EMA. And then when we had this double pullback, that's when things started getting a little bit unexciting for me, I would say. We had this one move where I was like, okay, maybe we're gonna, have a reversal here. But at this point, I felt like I was just kind of holding it. Now, it might break to 16, and if it does break to 16, I'll try my hardest not to have FOMO, but I probably won't have FOMO because, there's nothing wrong with locking in some profits, and, you got to manage your risk, and I think that's clearly the most important thing. So we'll see where this goes. If it dumps, I would love to buy back at some point. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, and let's hope for the best. Can't really complain with, what is that, like a 20% profit on AL? Super, super nice. SCON. Not sure. Am I on the right ticker? SCON, is that what you wrote? Could be a good one. It is in a little uptrend. I gotta give you that. I'm not sure. I don't really like the long-term chart on this one for a swing trade. This is something I would probably only day trade on a day with big volume, but I don't see myself swing trading this with my IRA account. I don't know. What are you looking at on this one? Maybe there's something I'm overlooking. I have no idea about the company. Superconductor, TEC, not sure. Nice, Corey. Better exit than I had. Good move. Yeah, I think I was holding AL a little bit too long. I was really looking for that 16, and we were so close to it. So that was a little bit unfortunate. But I'm excited. I'm actually excited to close out of that position. I've been thinking about it for a while now, and it's good to get done with it. Thoughts on silver? I don't have any thoughts on silver. Yeah, honestly, buying back at 11, I'd probably consider it. TOS did not trigger my stop loss, and I'm stuck with this. MIOS. Well, first of all, Eddie, you're never stuck with anything. You just got to sell it, right? I know what you mean, though. It's easier said than done. Support at 1.5. Yeah, news come out on the 10th. Macro news, nothing related to this company, it seems. A lot of spikes. It's tough to say, man. MIOS. This is one of those companies that if you could afford it, getting a position above $1 and then hoping that it just has another spike and you just dump into that spike might not be the worst idea. Or you just close it, take a loss here on this bounce. 1.6 clearly is big resistance. So just closing the position here is also just not a bad idea, because this could keep trending down below $1, and that's just not what you want to do with your cash. So that's probably what I would do. When in doubt, close out. Yeah, Corey, super true, huh? Last try. There we go. MBOT. Sorry if I don't see all the messages. MBOT. My God, now that is a very sketchy daily chart. We've actually day traded this one. Let's see if it was a profit. It looks like it was actually a pretty decent profit here on this day trade. MBOT. That was back in December. Wow, time flies, huh? Kind of a little bit of action here back to the upside. I'd be really nervous with MBOT coming out with an offering. This thing is primed for an offering here for sure. Be absolutely careful with this one. I don't know why it's up. but when it dumps, it's going to dump hard. 9.2. I would maybe consider day trading it with some activity like this, but I don't think I would swing trade a company like this. No way. And the problem with MBOT is the constant offerings it looks like they are doing. If you get stuck in one of these offerings, you could literally be down 60-70% one morning. It's just, how do you manage your risk with a company like that? I don't see it. Yeah, the 3-day trade. Go to BAM SEC to check for offerings. Oh, MTP under 3. No surprise there. BAM SEC. I have yet to use this site. Let's type in a ticker. What ticker should we type in? Let's type in MTP. Let's see what kind of shady stuff this company's up to. You know what? BAM SEC. I actually have used this site. Now I remember it. I didn't recognize their homepage. Perspective supplement. Look at that. On the 13th already. Offering galore. Yeah. Is what it is. Yep, Kylie, that's true. Don't have to be sorry, because everyone is trading what they feel like is a good decision based on their own analysis. Look at AL having a little bit of a reversal here at 13.4. Maybe we left 50.5% on the table. Again, it's not really important. But I'll be documenting this trade over the weekend, and then hopefully we'll have an opportunity in the future on AL. If not, it also doesn't matter. Another trade I was looking at was Space. I was looking for this one to have a nice little healthy dip. Again, past 18, I would like to accumulate this somewhere in below the 17s, maybe even into the 17s, but any sort of dip on SPC, you know, I'll probably be jumping on it. INTC, this is another one I've been wanting to buy into the 45. So if INTC dips into the 40, below 46, I'll probably start accumulating INTC. What else we got? It's crazy how similar Carnival Cruise Lines looks to AAL. I find that almost hilarious. Sono was another ticker. I missed this one actually by literally a hair, somewhere in this area. On my not on this account, on my actual unlimited account. This was kind of sad. I would like to buy SONO closer to 1250. Ryan, that's funny. Yeah, Harley, for sure. Totally makes sense. I just find it very um, kind of almost mind blowing how similar they are moving. But I guess, yeah, I mean, definitely makes sense. Royal Caribbean is doing much better. No surprise there. It's a much better company. RKT shoulda, coulda, woulda. Just got more aggressive at 1850 with bigger size, and then I would have sold here around 20, locking in profits. When you have small size and you didn't get a full fill, it really makes the whole trade very awkward because I would have closed this probably pre-market here at 20. That would have been my target, and now I'm just kind of like, technically I want it to go down, but also want it to go up. So it's just a very weird situation to be in with RKT right now. They're revenge list. It's just make your account margin account, and then it will be unlimited. Obviously, I called it unlimited just for fun. You guys can call your accounts whatever you want. All right, guys, I think it's probably time to wrap it up here. My eyes are already getting a little crazy, and I haven't made a trade pretty much since God knows when. Let's go back to the unlimited account and then get ready to wrap up here. Yeah, the last trade we made today was at 9:55. That means I didn't trade through all 10 o'clock. That's crazy. There's definitely a few I should have traded, but at the same time, I didn't really like the kind of gappers we were having, so I don't really regret it. If there is one thing I regret a little bit is FAMI, that really nice dip on it that I missed. Closing the day with $220 profit, can't complain about that for a second. For such a slow kind of weird Friday, it's good profits. So I'm happy as it is. Look at 1.4 on FAMI. And then it reversed. That was the big resistance zone, and that's what we called out as well. Abolisher, you really don't need to apologize for that. We've been over it on why. So just try to keep the chat room clear, man. Yeah, Satoshi, maybe. It's pretty similar. I mean, simple. You just go to TD Ameritrade and then you just click the link account button. It takes like 5 seconds, but I guess you just have to know where the button is. But again, every platform is so different. So if you have a question about a platform, TD Ameritrade or the platform support is really where you should be asking your question, because they will have the best, most updated answer for you. All right, guys, take care. Have a look at IFMK and ADXS. Ryan says has a hunch. Interesting. We'll give it a gander. Always like a good ticker call out. Have a good guys. Have a good day, everyone. Any ideas on the best platform for UK residents? I really don't. I really don't, man. If I did, I would let you know, but I don't. I'm not even sure the best platform for European residents. It's really not my area of expertise, but maybe I'll start thinking about compiling a list based on kind of community feedback, so we could always know what the best exchanges are for different countries. That's a really good idea. All right, guys, take care, everyone. I'll see you first thing in the recap video, and I'll see you guys first thing on Monday morning and maybe Saturday as well. We'll see what happens. Till then, guys, stay safe, make some awesome trades. Don't forget to drop a like on the way out. And subscribe if you're new. Ciao, ciao, guys. Have a great weekend.